guys, there's Athena. Hey guys, how is it going? Happy Monday. Happy Toon Monday, I guess you could say. As you see, we got our friend Scooby out here. And there's a reason why we have Scooby out here. But we'll get to that in a second. Want to catch up with everybody on what we did this past weekend. Want to thank everybody for coming out to the Perryville Fire Department's open house at Firehouse Station number 2. Pretty cool. We got to help the helicopter land and help it take off. They got busy. About half of the fire department and ambulance and everybody got a little busy. So we ended up raising just a few dollars for backstoppers. Right. So not too bad. So I had Superman, Batman, Green Lantern, Hawk Girl, and Punisher all there. Got a bunch of photo ops and everything with everybody. So it was a blast. We did 3 hours getting to hang out with our real heroes, the Perryville Fire Department and EMS and Air Evac. So that was cool. I mean, it was fun. Let me kick that back on. As you see, we are back down in the Fortress of Batcave Solitude.
The Cave of Solitude.
The Cave of Solitude. There we go. The Cave of Solitude down here. Back in front of the big screen. So as you see, with Scooby-Doo there, we've got our theme this year. So that should give you a little bit of a heads up of what's going on. Jinkies. All right. We'll get to that here in a minute.
Right.
So, this coming weekend,
Yes, we're splitting
forces this weekend.
Yes.
So, Dennis has the privilege of heading up north to St. Peter's to the Heroes Complex. So,
yes.
I'll let you talk a little bit about that real quick.
They have basically what they're calling it's called the Batman Birthday Bash. So, it's a celebration of all things Batman. So, we're going to have cosplayers up there that are dressed as part of Batman lore. Right now, we've only got 2, and I guess Ken is trying to get some more. But I'm going to be Batman. Alex Jones is going to be Nightwing. Karis is probably going to show up as Huntress. We may get some more, but right now that's the 3 that we know for sure that we've got.
Cool.
Awesome. So, from what I gather, it's going to be sort of the same thing. All the stuff is going to be over in the new building now, it sounds like.
Cool.
So, when you look up the address, it's showing that big old shopping mall that was there. It looks like it's going to be
cool.
Somebody in there. And then I guess they're still going to have some stuff out in the parking lot, like the bouncy house.
We'll hopefully get photos and post them. Definitely get some photos and post it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Ken will take photos, and I'll make sure that he shares them to Heroes for Kids.
Oh, most definitely.
Page. So that's what we're doing, and that's up in St. Peter's. It goes from about 2 in the afternoon to 6. And I don't have the address right off the top of my head, but it's on Jungerman Road up in St. Peter's. I think it's 124 Jungerman Road or something like that. So anyway, that's where that's at. You can look on the events. You type in Heroes Complex or Hero Complex into the search engine on your Facebook page, and it should come up, and you should be able to find it. St. Peter's, Missouri, 2 to 6 on Saturday.
So cool.
That's what we're doing.
And then Jess and I will be down in Memphis at the Pumpkin Run for Le Bonheur Children's Hospital. So that's going to be awesome. So I'll be down there as Superman doing that. Like I said, if anybody, any of our group wants to go there to St. Peter's and help Dennis, Batman costumes. Come up and help Dennis, get with Dennis. That way you can get everything taken care of that. Right. And if you guys are wanting to come down to the pumpkin run in costumes, now that's any costume. Come down to
That's any kid-friendly costume.
Kid-friendly costume.
Yes.
So any of our friends down in the Memphis area that want to come over and help us, definitely we would definitely appreciate your help. I mean, that is you guys' area. So we definitely want you guys to come out and get the shout outs and everything for you guys coming down in that area and for us and supporting LeBonner Children's Hospital. So that'll be awesome this weekend. And that is from 7 to 11, I believe, is where we'll Saturday morning. So, and yeah, I won't be back, and I'm not driving all the way from Memphis to St. Peter's to go hang out with you. Sorry.
No.
That's like a 6 hour, it's almost a 6 hour drive back. And just,
right. Yeah.
And then, whatever it is would be, then a 2 hour drive back home.
Right.
I can't do.
Just fly.
My arms would get tired.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good excuse. I guess.
Yeah. So
anyway.
But
I mean, if the bat plane were in working order, I'd fly down to Memphis, go ahead and do the thing, and then fly up to St. Peter. But Lampert Airport won't take the bat wing, so something.
I've landed hard too many times at Lambert, and
you cracked the runway.
I cracked the runway once.
Dang it!
So Lambert is a no-fly zone for me.
Right. Right.
But. So that's what we got going on this weekend. Next weekend, we don't have anything going on. Jess and I have a private engagement to go to, actually down near Memphis again. So not in costume. We get to wear our Sunday best for that, for our private engagement. So that'll be awesome. So and then the week after that is, if I'm not mistaken, Cape Comic-Con, which is November, what is it, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, something like that?
It's like
it's the first weekend of November.
Right. I think it's the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd.
Yeah, something like that. So down at the Show Me Center down in Cape Girardeau. I mean, they've got a list of, check out their page. It's going to be awesome. I think they're up to, what is that now? 10? I lost count. I think last count I saw was 10. So for Cape Comic-Con. So that's going to be awesome.
Right.
And I think Jess is looking right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, but Heroes for Kids will be there. Foam Forgeries, actors, artists, writers, vendors galore. I mean, but 3 days worth of fun. Check out the Cape. Is it Cape Events or Cape Comic-Con?
Cape-events.com.
There we go. Cape-events.com. Pull up the floor plan. It'll pull up the all the vendors and guests that we've got down there. So that's going to be awesome. It's the first weekend of November. So I think Jess is looking at their event. Go ahead and read off some of the people that's going to be there, huh?
13 guests listed so far.
13 guests so far. Read off some of the guests that they're supposed to have. So
This
Cape
one, that one, and the
Comic-Con,
next
November. So this is November 1st, 2nd, and 3rd?
Yes.
Okay, at the Show Me Center. Hun, read off some of the guests that they've got down at the Cape Comic-Con.
Josh Keaton.
Okay.
David Howard Thornton. Damian Leone.
Okay.
Andrew Gray.
What are some of these?
Timac. You just said read off the names.
Well,
That was what you asked for.
Get her, Scooby.
Scooby likes Scooby snacks.
All right, he's not going to do that.
Okay. So let's try this again. Read off and give us at least an idea of who they are and what
gotta
they do.
be specific. Josh Keaton, voice of Spectacular Spider-Man, Young Hercules, Oslet in Metal Gear Solid 3, Shiro in Voltron Legendary Defender, David Howard Thornton, Art the Clown.
From Terrifier, I believe.
Has also been recently cast as Steamboat Willie in the 2025 Screamboat movie. Damien Leone, best known for writing and directing the entire Terrifier franchise. Andrew Gray, for playing Troy the Red Ranger on Power Rangers Megaforce and Power Rangers Super Megaforce.
Cool.
And I'm getting a phone call.
Where are you getting a phone call from?
Phone forgeries.
Phone forgeries? Hey.
Ty Mack is best known for his portrayal of Leroy Gray in Barry Gordy's The Last Dragon.
Okay.
Andrei Avchenko, Stranger Things Season 3 as a villain Grigori, as well as the voice actor for Perseus on Call of Duty Black Ops. Afua Richardson, an American illustrator. Maria Wolf Lopez, Chicago-based comic book artist and illustrator.
Cool.
Vanessa Marshall plays Wonder Woman and Harley Quinn. Hera in Star Wars Rebel. Gamora in Guardians of the Galaxy. Black Canary in Young Justice. Mary Jane in Spectacular Spider-Man.
Some voice actor.
Voice actor.
Yeah.
Taylor Gray. Jedi Ezra Bridger, Star Wars Rebels, and young Micah on She-Ra and the Princesses of Power. Olivia Hack, an absolute sweetheart.
Yes, she is.
We've met her multiple times. Ty Lee from Avatar: The Last Airbender. Rhonda Wellington Lloyd from Hey Arnold. And Cindy Brady from the Brady Bunch movie.
Cool.
Jenny Kwan, another absolute sweetheart.
Yes.
Suki from Avatar: The Last Airbender, and Chun-Li from Street Fighter 6, and Ming Chen from the Comic Book Men.
Awesome. So that just gives you a little bit of what's going on the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd for Cape Comic Con. So that's going to be awesome. So that takes us all the way up to the last part of the end of this month, up until November, until the first weekend of November. Now, let's get into some of the news behind us.
Yes.
Well, this year, or for this next year, Heroes for Kids, I'm going to spin it around a little bit. Heroes for Kids and Villainous Ground brings to you Heroes for Kids Comic-Con 2025 on July 19th and 20th at the Perry Park Center.
Yes.
All right, our recipients for this year, or for 2025, will be the Captain Dorn Foundation and the Perry County Community Task Force. On our webpage, you can come down, you can find their websites, links down there at the bottom.
Right.
So click on them, it will take you all the way. Now, here comes the big one. Again, all of the vendors and stuff, we're still, again, this is our big first huge announcement. Raggy, we have our first guest is the one and only Scott Ennis. Scott Ennis. Let's see, I can pull him up a little bit. We'll click on his little bio here right now.
That's like totally awesome.
Totally awesome, dude.
Yeah. Like totally.
Scott, legendary Scooby-Doo and cartoon voice artist Scott Ennis, who is also an award-winning radio personality for Cumulus Radio in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. He is better known for the voice behind Scooby-Doo, Shaggy Rogers, and Scrappy-Doo since 1997. Man, 27 years.
Yes.
Of doing Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
Scott voiced the 4 biggest Scooby-Doo movies of all time. Zombie Island, Witch's Ghost, Alien Invaders, and The Cyber Chase. He's voiced hundreds of Scooby-Doo talking toys, and video games over the years. Scott recently voiced new Scooby-Doo pinball machine and is the narrator on the new Spooky Pinballs Texas Chainsaw Massacre. He was also the ring announcer for the latest 2023 Iron Claw motion picture with Zac Efron. Now that told you the life and story of the Von Erichs, the wrestling family. I've seen it. Awesome movie. It's on streaming now, so check it out. It is a real good movie. Zac Efron and our good friend Scott Ennis is in it. Scott has brought to life over 25 of the world's famous Hanna-Barbera cartoons that we all love and like Yogi Bear, Hey Boo Boo, and Boo Boo, Fred Flintstone, Barney Rubble, Hey Fred, Papa Smurf,
I can't do Papa Smurf.
Popeye,
Well, blow me down.
and many, many more. So again, it's awesome. You can check out his store on onescottshop.com. His comic booth has become legendary, and his panels are off the chart. Where Scott performs a montage of all songs he's performed in Scooby-Doo over the years. Trust me, we got to see one of his panels. It was awesome. It pretty much stops the show floor. So yeah, so trying to figure out how to set him up for his panel is going to be beyond me. I have no idea how we're going to end up doing it this year. We're going to have to figure something out, because this is going to be pretty cool.
Right.
Because I want to have I want him to do his panel at our show.
Right.
And yeah, it's
going to be packed.
It's going to be packed. Yeah.
Actually, it's
Yeah. So again, looking down here, Scott Ennis. If you can see it on the ordeal, you got Bugs, Elmer, Popeye, Scooby, Scrappy, Dino, the Jetsons, Yogi, Foghorn Leghorn.
He does Elmer Fudd.
Yes.
He's on fire.
Captain Caveman. 90% of everything that I grew up watching as a kid, he's done the voice of, which is awesome. So,
he's kind of local. He's from Poplar Bluff.
Yeah, he's originally from Poplar Bluff. So, again, this is going to be awesome. And the cool thing is we're going to try, you know what? I need to get over to Chester one day. I need to try getting over Chester and talk to the people over Chester, because he's voiced Popeye.
Right.
And Popeye was created in Chester, Illinois, which is literally 15 minutes from my house.
Right.
So maybe talk to them and see if they can't come in.
Right.
So see if they would like to have a booth and talk about Chester and the Popeye celebration and stuff like that at our show. So I think that so Chester, Illinois, Chamber of Commerce. If you get to watch my video and stuff, if you get to watch our video on that, we have Scott Ennis coming to Perryville, July 19th and 20th. So be ready. So yeah, look forward to seeing it. I can't thank, Villainous Grounds enough. I can't thank the city of Perryville enough for letting us to keep doing this. This will be our 6th year at doing Heroes for Kids Comic-Con. And for the 2 organizations that we're helping out this year. Number one, they are real near and dear. Again, all these organizations that we get to help are near and dear to our heart. Captain Dorn, let me flip, see if I can get down here real quick. The Dorn Foundation is awesome. There we go. Well, and now I may screw all this up. The Captain Dorn Foundation, here's a picture of this. Maybe. I don't know what it did. Try this again. For some odd reason, it is not coming up.
Huh.
About. Hey, let's try this. About.
Okay.
No, it is not coming up. I hate that. Whoa, wait a minute. There we go. Don't.
That's what it's.
Yeah, I don't know why it's not wanting to pull up. All right, let's try this one. Okay. Pull up the community task force. The Perry County Community Task Force. Again, this is all said. You can click on here. You can go through helping today's youth become tomorrow's leaders. So this is an awesome, very good and awesome. Let me see if they fixed it. Hey, they did fix it. Okay. The directors are Brady Mance and Jessica Burley. There we go. So two very lovely ladies. They have done a lot of work within the community with this organization. This thing is not wanting to. Here, let's see. Here's some of the programs that they do. So here's some of the few programs that they take care of through the through the community task force. I'm glad I'm able to pull it up like this. So again, just giving you a little bit of an idea of what the community task force can do. So let's get back here to our main page. And let's see if I can pull this back up. No, it's not wanting to. It's not wanting to. You have to see. Yeah, it's not wanting. Jess.
Yes, dear.
Captain Doran Foundation is not wanting to pull up correctly on the on our webpage.
Okay.
The web
what's it
link
doing?
is not wanting to.
What?
I mean, on this, it's not wanting to pull up right.
What is it doing? Yep, sounds like a plan.
It goes to there and goes whoop, and blinks out.
Okay. We're having web page problems too. So, okay.
Basically, after his death, his wife, she felt the desire to honor her late husband, and so she looked back at the positive impact that he involved in police officers. So she felt that this would be a perfect avenue to continue David's passion of taking care of his officers. So she and her longtime friend Gary Foster formed the Captain David Dorn Foundation in February of 22. And it's they wanted to provide equipment that the police or fire department did not have or could not provide for their employees. And their purpose that they state is that the meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose of life is to give it away. Okay, that's what she's doing after his death. She wanted to honor him by making it where they could provide the equipment for
our officers to be able to make it home at the end of their shift.
at the end of their shift. Yeah.
So
Dorn Foundation, that's what it
Yeah. And then
it's pulling it up. It's pulling it up, but it's not pulling up the.
losing connection and going back in.
Huh?
We're cutting in and out.
Oh, okay.
and of course both of these individuals have been in law enforcement for quite a while.
Law enforcement and firefighting.
And then Gary's also a paramedic and
Right.
yeah, so yeah, they heroes to a T. And they wanted to honor the fallen hero of David Dorn. So that's basically talking about the Dorn Foundation, man.
Cool.
So
All right. Awesome. So that right there is a nutshell of our updates for Heroes for Kids Comic-Con.
Yep.
So vendors, if you're wanting to get in on the ground level on the ground floor of, and I'm saying that retrospectively because we're staying just in the gymnasium, but if you're wanting to get your boosts and everything, go ahead and start logging on. Any sponsors?
They can't
Well-
log on yet. The forms aren't there.
Okay, the forms aren't there, but any sponsors that you want, if you want to
Sponsorship
get
letter's
in,
not there either.
holler at Jess. If you want to sponsor, holler at Jess. Okay, everything, holler at Jess.
Okay.
It's not updated to there yet.
Okay, so it's not updated yet, but if you want to
So-
sponsor or get into it,
So what we can do is say,
holler at Jess.
check on it regularly and
Yeah.
see what comes up. And if you have any questions, holler at Jess.
Yep, holler at Jess. Okay, so on that note,
Yes.
let's get into some of the other nitty gritty stuff that we've got. What time is it? Okay.
Okay. But yeah,
I haven't really gotten into. Let's talk about you've been watching that Agatha
Agatha
See,
all along.
all along.
Let's start off with that one because that's not near as popular as the other things we're going to.
Okay.
Mickey Glaub is watching. Brian
Hey, Mickey, how's it
Religard.
going?
Brian Religard is watching.
Hey, Brian, how's it
Shannon
going?
Hahn is watching.
Shannon.
Michael
Hello.
Hara is watching. Chris
Hey, how's it
Kreider
going?
is watching.
Chris, hey. Please drop comments. Any questions or anything that of stuff that we've got going on with Heroes for Kids, or if you want to talk anything pop culture, throw a comment in there, and we'll give our 2 cents,
Right.
3 cents if you like. But Agatha, all things.
Agatha all along. is-
Yeah, I haven't watched it, and I'm sorry to all of those that have seen it. I'm sorry, I'm a buzzkill with it because Marvel, other than the movies, Marvel has really burnt me out.
Yeah.
It's just other than the Deadpool movie, Marvel has really burnt me out. I mean,
Well, you got to remember that Marvel has a whole bunch of characters,
but
and they're trying to drag them all.
But the
in.
problem is it's getting to a point now they're just, hey, let's do this, and throw it to the wall. It's like it literally. It's like let's take a glob of glue,
Right.
or it's like making spaghetti.
Throw it to the wall and see what
Throw it
sticks.
to the
Right.
wall and see if it sticks.
Right.
And they've had enough stuff that has went into a pile of goo after it's made air. I lost interest in it because they throw so much.
Right. I think what they're trying to do, and not really doing it well, sort of slop jobbing it, is that they're trying to set it up for Secret Wars.
Right.
Okay, so that's what
And
that's-
Fantastic Four.
and Fantastic Four and the X-Men. Yeah, Fantastic Four and the X-Men are supposed to be segued into it. That's why at the end of the Marvels, you see the rift, and there's the universe of the X-Men. They're gonna
Right.
they're gonna do all this through the TVA. You know they will, because that's part of what Deadpool will is supposed to address.
Right. And and it's awesome that they're doing that, but but again, like I said, it's still one of those things. You're almost getting, I hate to say this, and especially, and it's not because I'm a bigger fan of one than the other. I love both aspects. I love Marvel and I love DC, but it's getting to the point now to where they're almost, even though they have their timelines of everything that they're looking at doing, their phases that they're doing, it's poor execution. And that's exactly the same thing that happened with Warner Brothers with their movies. Is they brought out the box office hit, and then it's like, well, we've got a rush job to get everything to throw in here, so let's do this, that, and the other just to slop it together and get it out there. And they have a good concept, but the ending result did not matter.
Well, see, here's what I think Marvel's problem is. When they first started out with the Phase 1, Okay, we're seeing Iron Man, we're seeing Captain America, we're seeing all of these characters. They're building the base. People are wanting to see that. So they are willing to forgive that, like say Iron Man 2 and Iron Man 3, you get a secondary villain that he takes out. Because at the end, at the end of the movie, you're going to see something with Thanos. And they're building toward that big, long story arc. Well, once they get to Endgame, it's fulfilled. Now they need to set up a new horizon. So they started with Kang the Conqueror, but then, actors and all this stuff having issues and whatnot kind of threw that in the toilet. So now they're doing damage control and they're trying to yank in too many things. Secret Wars probably should be another decade out, but they're going to bring it in the next year or two. And what they need to do is they need to establish some of the other group. They needed to bring in X-Men and Fantastic Four a lot sooner than they are.
And another thing is they don't need to do, and they don't need to do another origin story.
Right.
We don't need to see another. We know how the Fantastic Four got here. We don't need another origin story. We don't even need glimpses.
Hi, Rachel.
Hey, Rachel. We don't need glimpses of how.
Hi, Chris.
We don't need glimpses of how Reed Richards and the Fantastic Four got their powers.
We've already got 2 movies that do that.
We already know how they do that. We just need a conjunctive story that, hey, Fantastic Four is here. Even in the.
Well, they're going to probably do what they did with Spider-Man. Okay. When Tom Holland took over the role of Spider-Man, they didn't do an origin story with Tom Holland as Spider-Man. You already knew the story, so they just sort of slid him into the Civil War.
Right.
Okay.
But the thing is that it's almost they can't do that with the.
I think what they're going to do, if they touch on it, it'll probably be like a monologue fast. Okay, this is what we knew happened.
Almost like what they did with Origins. Where's the monologue on this? You started off with this, and then the opening credits is the monologue of how we got from the 1800s to present day.
Like how Star Wars always had those opening credits and say, okay, this is what's going on. Now we're getting you into the story so you can figure out what's going on. They'll probably do something like that. Maybe not the rolling credits or anything, but they will probably have some kind of voiceover. This is Reed Richards, and back in the late 60s, we did this and did this, and we ended up in the negative zone. Now we come to a world we don't recognize it.
Yeah. So basically, they're doing hey, we just unthawed Captain America and dropped him in the middle of New York in 2024.
It could be a fish out of water story for all we know. We don't know yet. I do know from some of the teaser trailers that they are going to show some footage that looks reminiscent of
the 70s,
60s or 70s.
Yeah.
In that time frame. So
because like we were talking beforehand, Agatha is, Richards' nanny. So, you've got to try playing, or we're hoping that they play that into, but how do they get to that, no pun intended, end game to get to match that stuff up?
Right.
But again, I don't want to see a slop job. We don't, again, hopefully they settle down. Hopefully they're slowing, because right now, I know this year, the big thing was Deadpool, and it blew everything out of the water, and they're not doing, as far as I know,
that gives them an extra little pump of gas to keep going.
They don't have anything right now going on until next year with any big movies, which is great.
Right.
So hopefully that they're stopping and we just cut out and just jump back in. Hopefully everything is, they're taking their time and getting stuff
worked out.
Right. Marvel, or not Marvel, but DC, on the other hand, is shooting A-bombs into the air with everything that they've got going on right now.
Right.
Comics, oh my God, they just finished Absolute Power. Now, granted, with Marvel, the new X-Men launch, I've already reading that. It's looking great. Marvel is getting ready to go into a new Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
But instead of it being like X-Men versus Avengers or X-Men versus the Inhumans, it's X-Men versus X-Men. It's literally the Uncanny X-Men versus the X-Men.
Oh, wow.
Getting ready. It's almost like an 8-issue. I think it's like an 8-issue story arc between X-Men and Uncanny X-Men. And it's a Cyclops' team versus Rogue's team.
Okay.
And they're getting ready to fight. So that's coming up in the next couple months.
Okay.
And it'll start for the next couple months. So X-Men's getting into the X-Men are starting to pump it a lot. And with the stuff, I was reading something today with the stuff with Marvel, Gambit, because of Channing Tatum's Gambit in the Deadpool movie. Gambit has really peaked up on a lot of stuff in the comic books now, which is awesome. So I like seeing, character that I followed for the last 20-something years. I'm glad he's getting to see his comeuppance, I guess you could say, now that you've got a somewhat comic book accurate, minus the voice. Now that was actually slapstick on people.
Right.
That was all done purposely to make fun of it. But, Gambit being in that movie was perfect. It gave him that star power he needed, that star kick in the ass, per se, to hopefully projecting into a lot more stuff. So
Okay.
what Marvel
Right.
and Disney had been missing for the last several years.
Okay. So back to Agatha.
Yeah,
Okay. In the comics,
right.
the Fantastic Four, they serve for a few years. Sue ends up pregnant, has Franklin. Okay.
Right.
So they need a nanny while they go explore the negative zone. Agatha is hired as a nanny. It turns out she's a witch, but she was an older woman. Lately, she's been retconned that she did a spell that made her young again.
Right.
So to more accurately look like Catherine Hahn from the miniseries.
Right.
Okay? So, I think what the MCU has been doing, I mean, we know the storylines from the comic books.
Right.
What they're doing is they're putting a little twist on it so that it'll play better to the movie audience.
Oh, yeah.
So I think instead of having Fantastic Four come in and then Agatha gets to them, somehow Agatha brings them to us. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let's
And,
hope.
I mean,
right.
I think she's going to be their segue into introducing the Fantastic Four. That's what I think. Just like the Marvels, they were like, okay, let's have them be our way to get X-Men into the MCU.
Right.
Okay. And from what I gather, in a lot of what they're doing with X-Men, they're going back true to form with what worked before, like Beast, because Nicholas Hoult is going to be like Sluther in the movies. They're going back to form. They're going to have a CGI Beast, but with Kelsey Grammer voicing it.
Right.
Because that's what we're used to. Okay.
Because nobody's casted yet.
Well,
Nobody is casted as of right now because I just read, again, literally today, I just read there is nobody casted as of right now for any X-Men.
Right. They just did that for that cookie. They used Kelsey Grammer's voice because they knew we'd go.
Right.
Okay. So anyway, but yeah, Hugh Jackman, I guess he's Wolverine for this.
Yeah. They're saying
They must have offered him one heck of a deal.
I've been reading that there are in development Some crossover stuff. Right now, Wolverine and Hulk. Possibly some more Wolverine and Deadpool. Deadpool and Spider-Man. This is just stuff I've heard and read within the last couple months.
Well, you got to realize with all those Marvel characters and all these stories that they've had over 60, 70
Oh,
years,
yeah.
they got a whole ton of stories that they can do. So they got to kind of pick the best of the best.
And again, like I was saying beforehand, don't just grab a wet noodle, throw it to the wall, and let's see if it sticks.
Right.
Let's get something concrete.
So, I'm not sure if Galactus is going to be considered a secondary character or if he's going to be a big baddie like Thanos was.
Yeah.
Don't know. And Kane kind of fell flat and...
Well, now you've got Robert Downey Jr. as the new Doctor Doom. So,
yeah, but I'm
is
not so
he
sure
going to be
to play him the villain? I think they might actually play him as more of an anti-villain, because when you look at Doctor Doom in the comics,
and Tony Stark at one time was Doctor Doom, in the comics. So is that what we're getting, or we're not getting?
What are we getting here? We don't know what we're getting. Is this a TVA variant where Tony Stark becomes Doctor Doom?
Like in the comics?
Or what? Yeah. So that's a very real possibility. They may be taking that whole different direction than Victor Von Doom for all of it.
Right.
So I don't know when they're going to bring him in. He may be the anti-hero. Lex Luthor isn't always the bad guy. Sometimes he steps on the side of the heroes. Well, the same thing with Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom may be a dictator and bent on world domination, but like Valeria, he's her godfather, and he's actually a loving godfather. He takes good care of her. He's got some redeeming qualities to him. So,
any messages?
Jonathan says hi.
Hey, Jonathan, how's it going?
So anyway, the storyline on Agatha is that after Scarlet Witch has her psychotic break when Vision passes, which is all spelled out in WandaVision. We don't have to worry about spoilers. That's been out for a year or two right now. But she ended up, when she had her psychotic break, she drained all the magic out of all the witches in that area. So Agatha ended up powerless and brainwashed to believe that she's just some small town cop or something.
Right.
So when she realizes who she is after the spell has been broken, she seeks to get her power back, her and her fellow witches. So now they're going down the witches' road and going through trials in order to get her powers back. There's a bunch of unresolved plot points. Like, for instance, we know that Agatha had a child, Nicholas Scratch.
Right.
And somehow he plays into this. Is the boy that she's with, that is kind of her sidekick, is that her son? Is it not? Right now, it doesn't look like it.
Right.
And, we got, it's good seeing you get.
Yeah, good seeing you too, John.
Yeah.
Or good hearing from you. There we go.
There we go. But anyway, she's trying to get her powers back. Is she going to be successful? What's she going to do? What's going to lead to? You notice in each and every one of these miniseries, at the very end of the season finale, they always have a cookie that introduces a character, which means that we'll eventually see, like we saw Hercules at the end of She-Hulk. So we might see Thor versus Hercules.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's the next Thor movie supposed to be coming out.
Right. So that's coming out pretty soon. So we may get to see that. So, like I said, they're pulling all these little threads in, and right now we're like, where are you going with this?
Yeah.
Where are you going with this? So, eventually, pretty soon, they're going to have to do something that kind of makes them go, okay, now we start pulling them all in and tying it all together and show you what we're up to. And then you go, oh, okay, then it all comes together.
Yeah, but the thing is you don't want to ruin everybody on it because, again, like I said, you make something crap just to make something over here make sense.
Right.
And
Marvel's got this formula that in the
But regardless, if you're a comic book fan, you're gonna watch it.
Right.
I mean, that's just.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah,
and
that's
eventually, I
right.
will watch it. I
But,
mean,
see, that's what they do when they do the solo movies where it's just Iron Man or it's just Black Widow or whatever. They will take one character, and maybe the origin story will be a big one that feeds into the storyline. But then after that, the successive ones, they get the lesser known ones and it's basically just a bridge to get to the.
that was like when they did Agents of Shield.
Right.
You know, the first, I think it was two or three seasons of it, almost fell in line with what was going on in between the Avengers movies.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, it just went way off into left field, and it was like, okay, wait a minute. Because, again, it was a conjunctive story that you could go in and literally sit down and watch Avengers, and then watch season 1 of the Agents of Shield, watch Avengers 2, and then watch season 2. Or you could watch and see where everything played into on the movies and on the TV series until it just went completely haywire.
Well, if you notice on Disney Plus, if you get onto the Marvel section, you can get it in the timeline stuff, and they'll have like chronological order. They'll have Captain America.
They'll have it in the area.
The Agent Carter miniseries.
Yep.
Then they'll have
Captain
Marvel.
Yep.
Then
Right.
Iron Man and Iron Man 2, and then Incredible Hulk, and then
And what makes it bad is they even forget one of the. What makes it bad is they forget one of the Hulk movies in that timeline. They do. They forget.
Are you talking about the Eric Bana one?
The Ed Norton one.
Oh, the Ed Norton. No, it's in there.
Oh, it's in there now.
It's in there. Yeah.
Okay, they
I
must
just
have
watched it the other day.
they must have just put it in there.
Oh yeah, they just put it in there
because it wasn't in there about a month ago.
Strangely enough, they put it after Iron Man 2,
which is incorrect because it
should be after
Iron Man 1.
Iron Man 1.
Right.
So I don't know why they did that, but that's something they need to fix. But
Right.
yeah, it's in there.
Because that was just added in there within the last month or two or so.
If it were me and I wanted to make it a chronological thing, I would. They've also done the shorts like they're putting them in there
right
you know what I'm talking about, but like Colton or
Agent Colton and stuff like that.
Yeah. What they need to do is in between all those superhero movies is put in also Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. episodes that kind of tie in with those things. That would make sense, and that would kind of make it one long movie. That would kind of give the whole timeline out to you. And
definitely.
That's what I would do.
Yeah.
Okay. So when Coulson is talking to one of his cohorts and he says, "We're not going to have a repeat of what happened in New York last week."
Right.
So what we're going to do is we're going to find a power source for this weapon so that we don't have a repeat of what happened last week.
Right.
Yeah. That's
Chuck Cochran. Hey, Chuck, how's it going?
Anyway, but that's what I would do.
Yeah. Now, off of Marvel, let's jump into DC.
Yes, let's jump into DC.
Not Snyder, but James Gunn. Holy cow. We've got Superman is done filming.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's in the editing room getting set up. I'm hoping to see hopefully by the end of the year, hopefully we get to see a teaser.
Right.
An actual teaser, not a fan film teaser.
Maybe
but
when we sit down to watch Creature Commandos,
maybe we get something. Right. So Creature Commandos comes out in December. So
right. That's what I'm hoping.
I mean, if not then, maybe Super Bowl time, we get one of those commercial. When I'm with Superman.
What I'm really excited for is the Lantern series that's going to be coming out. They've already got what's his name, Aaron Pierre as John Stewart. now.
John Stewart. They got Kyle Chandler as Hal,
Jordan,
and then
And they've
Guy
got-
Gardner.
and they've
Now-
got Nathan Fillion as
That's
Guy
Guy
Gardner.
Gardner, right? So they've got those three. Now, I'm not big on Green Lantern. Now, is Guy Gardner older than? Because the way it looks, with the way that he's got it, because if you watch the way if you watch the way Gunn's doing everything, it's almost somewhat the same way he did over in Marvel. He's giving you a timeline. Creature Commandos is first.
Right.
Then you're going to have Superman. And again, everybody's already established in the DC world.
Right.
So, when Guy Gardner is being introduced, yes, I understand the Green Lantern Corps is already in existence.
Right. And it has been for thousands of years.
But the way it's looking is Guy Gardner's going to be a Lantern longer than
No, that's why
Hal and John. Well, hold on, let me finish. Because, again, the Green Lantern Corps series is not going to be, and I just read this, that Green Lantern series is not going to, it's going to be a continuation. There's going to be a little bit of maybe a back, it's going to go back a little bit into the Superman story, but it's not going to go too far. But Green Lantern and the John Stewart stuff is going to take place after Superman.
Right.
So it's a continuation. So unless it tweaks a little bit on the origin of them,
Not necessarily.
who's going to be the main Green Lantern?
John Stewart.
No,
That would be my guess.
John Stewart's going to be the youngest out of all of them.
Right, but he's going to be the one that they're going to end up focusing for the future.
For the future.
Right. Okay. So let me explain this. Okay. Okay. You got the Superman movie. You got Guy Gardner.
Right.
Okay. He's the current Green Lantern of Earth.
Right.
Okay. You've got. Then they're going to bring in John Stewart, who is going to be, the secondary Green Lantern. They're going to go into how they've expanded from 3,600
Well
to
then,
7,200.
how does Hal Jordan come in?
Hal
Because Hal
Jordan-
Jordan is
Hal
supposed to come in.
Hal Jordan is the senior cop of this deal. Okay, he's
Because he's the
He's
one that's
pro-
supposed to
he's
be
pro-
training John.
he's been promoted. He's no longer Earth's protector. He is considered like part of the honor guard that kind of goes out and helps where needed. Okay, so he goes all over the universe and helps where needed. So, guys on Earth, along comes John Stewart. So the Guardians say, okay, we're going to pair you with Hal Jordan to learn how to do this stuff. Okay, that's where your buddy cop stuff comes in. Okay, so Guy Gardner's still going to be on Earth, and he's going to be able to help Superman.
But then they're going to put them two partnered for the Lantern Corps.
Yeah, and so the series is going to focus on John Stewart learning how to be a
From
Green
Hal.
Lantern from Hal.
Or at least that's what we're
So
assuming.
it's going to be set more in outer space, not on Earth. Whereas the Green Lantern of Earth
is going to be Hal and Guy Gardner.
Okay,
Until-
does that explain that
until
for you?
somewhere in it, then he's going to join.
Right, and then who knows? Maybe they'll have a
Yeah.
Green Lantern movie and all three of them. But eventually, when they get to the Justice League, John Stewart will be the Justice League.
And it's kind of funny. They're already teasing.
Going back to work. Talk to you later.
Miss you, John. Yes.
Yeah.
And be safe.
Yes.
It's kind of funny. They haven't established any characters or actors for the Batman movie. No, they
have
have
you
not.
heard that Jansen and
They have not officially come out with James Gunn saying that Ackles is Batman, but they have already. But because the Batman movie hasn't even been written yet.
I know it
But they've already started the development of dynamic duos, which is the Robin story, which is supposed to the dynamic duos, the two Robin, and it's supposed to focus on two Robins, and the two Robins they're focusing on
It's Dick Grayson.
is Dick Grayson and Jason Todd.
Jason Todd.
It's
Where'd you read that?
huh?
Where'd you read that?
It's blown up everywhere.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I'll have to show. I'll have to show you that one after we get off.
Or give
But
me
yeah.
a link or something.
Yeah,
so
it's
I
just
can read it.
comicbooknews.com. Comic news.
Oh,
Comic
okay.
book news. Yeah, it's James Gunn. That or look up stuff about James Gunn.
Speaking of
So-
Batman,
Yes,
okay.
Absolute Batman so far is a
Superman
pretty
and
cool work.
Lois TV show. Okay.
Yes.
It's in its final season.
Yes.
Okay. Sounds like James Gunn went to the folks at CW and said, I would like to tie this in.
Nope. They're not.
No, they approved it.
I'm telling you what they've already done.
DC approved it.
It's not getting tied into anything. The only
They're
thing
going to let them borrow a character that
the only thing that it is tying it is to finish off the Arrowverse. So everything in the Arrowverse will be finalized
yes,
in
Yes.
the 10th
yes,
episode
yes.
of
Nobody's arguing it.
Lois and
But-
Clark. Or not
The-
Lois, Superman and Lois.
The rumor is that a character is going to be shown for only one episode.
Batman.
Batman.
They're possibly bringing Batman.
They're possibly bringing Batman in. So who's going to play him? Don't know. They haven't got that figured out. But somehow they're going to.
I haven't read that yet.
They're going to have him come in and help to tie everything up so that they can put the Arrowverse in a nice little bow.
Yeah, because right now they haven't said who
Right.
that they're bringing in. Some of them packages. They haven't said who they're bringing back to tie up the Arrowverse. But Superman and Lois, the 10th episode is supposed to tie everything up. There is rumors. Again, rumors. That's all I have read. Yes, I have heard rumors of. I've heard rumors of stars from Arrow, stars from Flash, stars from Supergirl, Black Lightning, Gotham. So, because Gotham is part of the Arrowverse,
Right.
even though it was a distant over here, but it was part of that Arrowverse. Which could possibly be the Batman of that universe coming in. But they haven't 100%
Right.
nailed down,
Right.
or they've teased that Superman and Lois is tying the bow into a nice, pretty bow at the end of the series.
Right.
And it's supposed to end all of the Arrowverse.
Yeah.
So will we see Batman? It's a possibility. Will we see somebody from the Titans? A possibility.
Right.
Are we going to see the Flash? Are we going to see Stephen Amell's Oliver Queen? Are we going to see one of the?
They have been talking to Grant Gustin about starring in at least one episode.
Yeah.
during
So
the season.
are we going to see those characters? Very good possibility. But
Yeah.
right now, the first two episodes of Superman and Lois. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Luther, the guy that got playing Luther,
Nails it.
nails it. I mean, the evil, twisted, maniacal. I want to get rid of. I want to get rid of Superman. Perfect.
Yeah, he's like the ultimate rat bastard. I mean, I thought John Cryer did a good job, but this guy.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he just.
You know the. Wyatt. Hey Wyatt, how's it going? The.
He almost looks like the same Lex Luthor that was in the Titans.
Yeah, close to it.
Close to it. I mean, they both had the beard and stuff.
Right.
So
You've
I'm
got
wondering.
it's not the same guy.
No, it's not the same. Guy.
But you know, the fight with Superman and Doomsday. Yes, it was CGI. Yes, there was a couple I had to stop and go, ooh, that just. I mean, but
it's not bad.
But the thing is everything moves so quickly during that battle, and Doomsday dropping, you know, doing that puny human type deal, into the streets of Smallville,
right?
You know, dropping the corpse at at his feet, you know, that all of that. I mean, that almost that first episode. With that fight and everything going on, the emotions, and you know, I want to tell you right now, you know, again, I've said this on many episodes that we've done. The death of Superman has always been that emotional roller coaster moment for me, whether or not it be in comic books or real life. Because again, my dad being that figure of the Superman in my life, and in him passing along the same time as the Batman Superman movie come out, and you know that and also that being the first comic book my dad ever bought me. So you know, seeing the Doomsday Superman battles through all of the comic books, the series, the movies. You know, and everything that we've gotten to see and all of that. That battle was probably one of the best battles I have seen.
Right.
Between the Doomsday character and Superman that especially live action.
Right.
The one in Batman v Superman, the Snyder cut, hands down, bar none, probably my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
That one there, in Superman Lois, them taking it off Earth, it almost gives you that Zod versus Superman battle from Man of Steel.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the Henry Cavill and Michael.
Think about this as well. They're fighting on the moon, right?
Right.
Okay. Shades of Superman 4, only it's not nuclear man.
It's Doomsday. They're fighting in outer space.
Right. So I kind of noticed that Easter egg right off.
Yeah,
the bat.
that battle was just top notch.
Oh yeah.
As you're going through the canyon in the moon, and you're seeing the spots of his cape, tattered of the cape, the blood splatter on a rock,
right.
and then another splatter, splatter of blood just floating in the air, or another piece of the tattered cape. It was.
And it kind of drives home, because Superman didn't go and run off. No,
yeah,
he went in there.
It was full,
I got no choice but to take care of this. And when you see that cape that's kind of floating,
and then if you notice the final scene or that final impact between Doomsday and Superman, Superman doesn't have his cape. Ooh, taffy. Superman doesn't have his cape on. Why? Is because it's tattered. The suit is tattered and torn. And it's just it's and the emotion that you see of Lois, Jonathan, and the Kent family, and then
Jordan.
Jordan, Jonathan, and then Lana and her daughter, and just everybody going, oh crap.
Now, remember the scene where he said, "I came for Superman's heart," and Lex threw it on there and something. You think that was Superman's heart?
I don't think it was. I don't think. I think that
I mean, I think Superman's dead. I'm pretty sure Superman's dead.
he comes back.
And I know he comes back. I've read the comics, so I know you can't have a show called Superman and Lois without Superman. Okay?
Well, they've already hinted on it.
But because you can't milk a death for 10 episodes.
Right.
But it looks like Lex Luthor's going to be the big baddie of this
Oh, yeah.
season.
I put it. Okay. Here you go. Here's another one. Boomland Taffy. Awesome. Plug of the day.
Delicious.
Hi, Jen.
Hey, Jim. But no. I don't think the heart that he stomps is Doomsday's. I think it's another heart. Because I think that is the manipulation of Luthor. I think that's the full, all-out manipulation of Luthor in all this. I think that's a keepsake for him. He's,
If I were Lex, I'd put it in trophy case.
Exactly. That's where I'm thinking it's at. I don't, because I've already
or
seen,
use it in an experiment to create.
because I've already seen stills. They've already shown teaser stills of a new of the new suit. Superman comes back, got a new suit. So no, I don't think that is his heart. I think that may have been a, again, because
We're going to see a long-haired Superman.
Again, I don't see. Number one, here's my other thing. It was ripped from his body from a Kryptonian, which is possible.
Right.
Okay. It is now on Earth. That it's indestructible. His heart is indestructible.
Now, he wouldn't be able to stop it.
Exactly. I can't. No, I cannot see. I cannot.
If bullets can bounce off his skin when he's on Earth.
Right. I cannot see. I cannot see his organ. Right.
Crashing a heart.
Because it doesn't show any kryptonite in there. Nothing in there is kryptonite. Or if there is, it's all encased in lead. Because they don't hit Jonathan. They hit Jonathan with the kryptonite lasers outside.
Right.
They don't have them on inside the.
Right.
And they're
when
not
he opened
shooting
those
them.
containers, he didn't drop to his knees or anything like that.
And
William Tracy's watching.
Who?
William Tracy.
Hey, William Tracy. Hey, Jennifer. If you have any questions, please drop a comment or anything online, and we will answer it. We're talking a little bit about the Agatha TV series. We're talking about the Superman and Lois series. We're talking about Marvel Comics, DC Comics. We're talking about a little bit of Heroes for Kids. We're talking about some of the stuff that we've got going on. So please throw a comment or anything on there. If you ask us questions, whatever the case may be. And we will, again, this is us. This is Heroes for Kids stripped down and having fun.
Right.
Getting to talk out of character instead of in character,
Right.
But no, so hopefully that's what we're seeing is, again, that's where my mindset goes. Again, unless you have kryptonite around and it's being exposed to the kryptonite, not just around, but exposed to kryptonite,
right?
Whether it be his internal organs, whatever, it's not going to get, you're not going to see, it shouldn't, it shouldn't have done what it did.
Right.
So
Unless he had kryptonite in his
in his boot, yeah.
boot or
So
something.
do I think that heart was Superman's?
Yeah.
No, I do not. But if you watch, I saw not a teaser, but well, I guess there is a teaser out there for upcoming episodes, and it shows him in his, I would call it the coffin that he's in the fortress. Where he in the glass or the liquefied,
right.
the rebirthing chamber, almost basically
right.
is what I guess you could call it, the rebirthing matrix. If you look at, there's a photo out there in one of the stills, or one of the stills I have from one of the from the trailers for upcoming episodes. He's in a new suit,
right,
in the birthing chamber or in the birthing matrix,
right.
So does this birthing matrix undress him and redress him in a new suit? Does Lois come in and where does he get the new suit from? So we're believing that this is the birthing matrix that we see that he is in, like what we see in The Funeral for a Friend and The Return of Superman in the comics. Is that what we're seeing?
Right.
Him encapsulated in Superman and Lois.
You've also got to remember that at the end of that show, just like Jor-El has and Laura has, Superman is now this algorithm from the Kryptonian computer.
Uh-huh.
You know? So he's able to talk with
Right.
Lois and the kids. Okay?
Right.
So maybe it's his conscious has been put into the Kryptonian technology, waiting for his body to be rejuvenated to put it back in, and so Superman's back.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe.
But I also think, and this is one thing that I also think, is where we get to see that nice little tiny bow, is what we see is the Justice League forming at the end of it.
Right.
Possibility.
Right.
And they help Superman take down Luthor and Doomsday.
That would make sense. If they don't do it that way, then I could see this. They've defeated Luthor. Lois goes, okay, what's next? And one of the Justice League members says, we have need of you. You need to come with us. And that's where they live it.
Oh. I mean, the possibilities are endless, but
Right.
we know Superman comes back. But to what? I mean, now again, we're talking about this is supposed to wrap up the universe, the Arrowverse, all in
Right.
one nice little bow. Now, do we start seeing the Arrowverse characters coming in to play? Because Luthor is one with Doomsday. Doomsday now is Luthor's pretty much plaything to go out and have fun with, to destroy the world, to make the world, to get back at everybody that's done him wrong.
Right.
So now you've got the Justice League, or now you've got the Arrowverse now coming in to stop Doomsday, and then you have at the very end, dun, 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 Superman comes back and takes basically finishes it off. Has another big battle with Doomsday at the very end and finishes off Doomsday and says, Luthor, you have lost. And then, that may be that tiny bow that we get to see at the very end, and how you get to see Oliver, Flash, Supergirl, Lightning, and all of the Legends of Tomorrow, and you get to see everybody
Hi, Donna.
join, and that's where you get to see everybody at the end. that may be the caveat of that may be that, and then Superman is the one that comes in and flies in and puts the final blow to Doomsday.
Right.
I mean, while everybody, I mean, just like in the comic books, everybody's, Doomsday wipes everybody out, and then it takes Superman to take him down.
Right.
And the thing is if you even if you look at the comic books, Superman died, and in the death of Superman kills Doomsday by breaking his neck, hitting him so hard he spins his neck around.
Right.
But he also, when Cyborg Superman comes back, when the Eradicator Cyborg Superman
Right.
comes in, he takes him out of the lab, straps him to an asteroid, throws him into the atmosphere, or throws him into outer space, and what happens? Doomsday wakes up. So Doomsday actually wakes up before Superman comes back to life.
Right.
So again, and then Doomsday ends up back on Earth. Doomsday fights Superman several more times until Superman actually takes him and goes rip and rips him in half. Superman finally takes in, actually it's the New 52 Superman that actually kills Doomsday and then ends up terraforming, in the comic books anyway. New 52 Superman actually kills Doomsday and actually Superman actually terraforms into a Doomsday himself, because the Doomsday blood ends up poisoning Superman.
Okay.
And Superman ends up turning into Doomsday, and then he has a fight within himself to battle it out of him, and ends up coming back as himself again. Now Doomsday is actually the leader of Hell now in the comic books.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's not Lucifer, it's Doomsday. Doomsday actually kicked Lucifer out.
Oh, boy.
So, and there is Doomsday at one point was trying to battle his way out of Hell.
Right.
So, yeah. Doomsday is still alive, but he's in Hell.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Which is just another day in paradise for him.
For him, yes. I mean, he can kill tormented souls all day long.
Right.
So, yeah. So,
Right. So that's possible too.
So yeah, so the Superman and Lois series, I mean, top notch. Love what they're doing. I wish it could keep going, but I understand you got to wrap up something. But the Gunverse. Oh my God! I mean, everything from, they're throwing everything at us right now.
Right.
And now that Superman is done, now getting to see or hear rumors and see some of the stuff he's getting ready to put out again.
Right.
And he's not teasing a lot, which I love that. Because he's making us guess.
I mean, people have said, we would love it if you took Corn Sweat and made him buddies with Pattinson. Well, that may or may not happen. He's not telling you. And it doesn't look like
that is not the Batman is Elseworld.
Right.
That is already labeled.
Right.
It has already been labeled
Right.
under the Elseworld
Right.
banner.
He's already said
So
he's not
has
going to
Joker.
do that. Yeah.
And Joker.
Yeah, he's made crystal clear that's a separate thing.
Yeah.
And, but people are still saying, no, you really ought to consider.
Yeah. No, it's everything right now that is going on. If it is not under. Yes, it is all under Gunn, but if it was already established before Gunn took over, it is considered Elseworld. Creature Commandos, Superman, Green Lantern Corps, Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, Dynamic Duos. I probably just said that.
Right.
Give me a second. Let me rephrase. Let me redo that. Creature Commandos, Superman, Dynamic Duo,
Woman of Tomorrow.
Woman of Tomorrow, Superman, Woman of Tomorrow. That right now, did I say Green Lantern Corps?
Yeah.
Okay. Those 4 projects is what he has slated right now.
Right.
Okay. He has casting for. He already has casting for those 4 things, except for a dynamic duo. Dynamic duo just announced within the last week. Dynamic duo they do not have casting for, but Supergirl, Green Lantern, Creature Commandos, and Superman, he's already got the cast for.
Right.
The main cast for.
Right.
Or at least he's already got Supergirl. Superman's already done, and Creature Commandos are done. He's got the 3 key members of the Green Lantern Corps already in the bag.
Right.
Okay. So, Dynamic Duo, he has not casted yet. He just announced that just the other day.
Right.
Batman isn't even on the chopping block yet.
Right.
It's on the schedule, but nothing has even been done.
Right.
So everything that we're hearing, Jensen Ackles and all that other kind of stuff,
That's
all of
rumor.
that is rumor.
Right.
So we have, it is.
But it's not a bad idea because because Jansen has already done the voiceover work on.
He's doing the voiceover work for Batman now.
Right. So
And the
it would make sense to go ahead and seeing as like what you've said before, Gunn is setting it up so the voice you hear in movies is also the voice you hear in the
animated.
cartoons
Yep. And the
anime,
games and everything.
And all that.
So I mean,
So it would make sense if he's doing the voice now because
Yep.
he's doing the voice.
he's doing the voice.
in the Crisis on Infinite Earths
He's
movies.
also doing the voice. He's also been doing the voice on the HBO. I think it's HBO. No, Amazon. The Amazon Prime series, Batman: The Caped Crusader. He is the voice of Batman in the Batman and the Caped Crusader.
Okay.
In that series over on Prime.
Right.
But that is considered an Elseworld story. That's
Right.
not, because that's like year 1. That's like Purple Glove Batman over there. So that's has nothing to do with what Gunn is doing here.
Right.
So that is part of that Elseworld stuff that's dealing with over here, which Patton's in, Joaquin Phoenix, and all that is over here.
Right.
So, I mean, but again, I'm like you, because all the voice actors that are playing the characters for Creature Commandos all those voice actors are the characters if they show up in live action.
Right.
So, I mean,
Right.
why not? I mean, so
Yeah.
I think,
I kind of like that idea.
Yeah.
Except it does kind of limit because these actors can only play those roles so long.
Right.
So,
So hopefully,
whatever he does.
well, hopefully within this 10-year, because this is supposed to be a 10-year project.
right.
So all these movies are supposed to be within the next 10 years. So TV series and movies. So, I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing it. I'm excited to see the new batch of stuff going on with the Gunverse. As much as I did like the Snyderverse, I wish we could have gotten more of it. I think seeing the end game of what Snyder was going to give us would have been awesome. But it sucks that we didn't get to see it.
Right.
So I'm hoping James Gunn can do what they wouldn't let Snyder do. So I'm hoping Gunn is able to go in and,
Well, I think the studio was so scattered that Snyder, what he wanted to do, they wouldn't let him do. And then once they realized
it did.
we're losing viewers here. What we need to do, maybe we need to follow the Marvel model and start.
Well, it didn't. And it didn't help that the stuff with his family issues got involved,
Right.
and we won't go into that. But I will say this: for the Suicide and Crisis Hotline, dial 988. Definitely.
Right.
It's one of them things that, matter of fact, we're getting ready to come up onto an anniversary of somebody that we know that we knew that Jess and I knew personally. And I don't doubt that everybody in the world has somebody personally that has either passed away due to suicide or have a crisis in their life. So please dial 988 to get help. So on that note, but no, that there was a lot of things. Not just the critics didn't like it, or he wasn't following the model of this or model of that. He had a vision of what was going to happen. And, the thing is just like Marvel, they went through how many people to get phases 1 through 6 done, whether it be directors, producers, writers,
Right.
and, the top brass. They went through plenty of them. And some of the, and they swept a lot of the issues that they had up under the rug when they let them go. Well, DC picked them up when things weren't going well with Snyder. And then you brought a bad apple from another company into a company that is basically trying to not take care of a bad apple, because Snyder wasn't trying to give us a bad apple. Snyder was trying to give us a conjunctive story, but they didn't like what they were doing, but they didn't like what he was doing with the story. So what do? They threw an undisclosed bad apple from Marvel into the mix of the DC universe,
And
he ended up screwing the pooch.
Right.
So Snyder's vision
Got
really weakened, and which really bombed
Right.
in the second movie.
Right.
If they would have let Snyder take his break, like he asked, instead of, no, we have to get this out. And if you're not giving me this, we're going to do this to you.
Right.
And there was a lot of other factors involved.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
there's two sides of the story.
Right.
But if Snyder would have been able to play out his whole storyline of what we had with Superman, we would have gotten the bright and shiny Superman that everybody wanted. Because again, if you go back and look at this, listen to the podcast from Kevin Smith and Zack Snyder.
Right.
He talks about the whole story that he had in there. He talked about everything that he was planning on doing. He talked about what happened and all that other kind of stuff between him and Warner Brothers and DC. So, it's one of them things. You talk about, they talk about, well, Superman can't kill, Batman can't kill, and all this other kind of crap and all that. Okay, who are you? What rock have people lived under? Look at the comic book. Watch the comic books. Or read the comic books and watch some of the earlier stuff in the comic book, in comic book genre history. Batman has...
He is killed. Yeah.
Batman... You can actually go online and Google Batman's kill tally. Superman's kill tally. They have both got them.
Oh yeah.
So what we get to see in Man of Steel and Batman vs Superman is nothing compared to what they've done in previous movies. Superman 2 on the other, look at Superman 2, Superman 3, and Superman 4.
Yeah.
All three of those movies, Christopher Reeve movies, all three of those movies. That's not counting That's not counting the comic books. That's just those 3 movies. Superman has killed multiple people in each one of those movies.
Right.
I mean, Superman 3, 1 person. Superman 3, 1 person. Superman Returns. He killed at least half a dozen people in it. Superman did.
Right.
You know how?
How?
Okay. Superman. Okay. He fights with Luthor on the Kryptonite planet.
Right.
Or on the Kryptonite continent, right?
Right.
Okay. Luthor comes up, shanks him in the back. Prison shanks him in the back.
Oh, you're
breaks it
talking
off.
about when he lifts it up out of the water
He
and that
lifts-
stuff starts falling over on those people?
Yep.
Yeah.
He kills all of Luthor's henchmen.
Right.
And if they didn't get on, and if they survived from stuff falling, he took the asteroid, or he took the continent into outer space. So
They're dead.
they're dead in outer space. So he killed all of Luthor's henchmen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sort of by proxy. I mean,
Okay, but again,
he didn't take a spike and.
it's still.
But, yeah.
If you go by what the critics say, Superman can't kill. He saves everybody. But by that token, if you go by that token of what the critics are saying,
Right.
Superman should have, before he started lifting it out of the water, he should have flown in there, caught everybody, threw them back to Metropolis, flew back in, and then lifted it up in the air.
Yeah.
By what everybody said. But no, instead he goes up, resurges himself in the sun, he visions himself down to the base of it, and then picks it up. And as he's lifting it up out of the ground, the earthquake that does for the full continent,
Right.
as it's crumbling in on itself,
Right.
it kills all the inhabitants except for 2.
Yes.
And then whoever didn't die from the collapse or from the destruction of the earthquakes of it, they died from the vacuum of space.
Okay. Yeah.
So, okay, so you've got at least half a dozen people there. Superman.
Well, that's not even counting in Man of Steel. Okay, fighting Zod, you know that at least tens of thousands of people got killed.
Oh yeah.
Had to.
But on that, but again, and I will say this on that one there, we're looking at now hindsight's 2020. So I will look at it this way. Okay.
He's back, Jonathan's back.
Yep. Hey, Jonathan. Now I will look at it this way with that fight. That was not Superman though.
That was collateral.
That was collateral damage from Zod.
Right.
Because Zod was the one that was okay. Now, yes, I get the whole purpose of yes, Superman should have been smart enough to take it out of. But again, Zod brought it to Metropolis.
Right.
It wasn't Superman.
The World Ninja was over Metropolis.
Right. So there was, and so that was Zod killing everybody because it was the world engine.
Right.
Not okay. The battle, because if you notice, 90% of the battles or everything where Superman was battling Zod, every building when he was battling Zod, not Ursa and Non, okay, not Fiora and Non, because they were in Smallville battling, and that was just nobody died in Smallville that we're aware of.
Right.
Okay, all the casualties was in Metropolis, and 90% of that was because of the World Engine, which was Zod, not Superman.
Right.
Okay, Zod was trying to stop Superman, or Superman was trying to stop Zod. So, but 90% of the buildings that they flew into the fight were already abandoned. The parking garage that they go into was abandoned. the building that they fly into or fly through, and Zod lights up with the heat vision when his heat vision kicks in, was abandoned. The people that were killed or crushed was because of the world engine, not because of the falling buildings from Superman. Well, except for the one, except for the Wayne Towers built, and
Right.
except for
that
Wayne's
one
building.
that was occupied.
No, it wasn't. Not fully.
Remember, he told everybody to get out, and then you saw that. And he's
Right.
Like, he's like, our Father art in heaven.
Right.
You know, he starts
But
doing
again,
it, and
but
it's-
again, now, but again, here's the kicker on that. If you watch Man of Steel, during that scene, now here's the kicker. In Man of Steel, that building was empty. Because when he does that, no one was in that building. When you see Batman v Superman,
you realize there were people in that.
there are people in the building on the higher floors.
Right. Right.
So, but again, it wasn't Superman that did it. It was the Zod trying to control his powers,
Right.
or Zod's powers, powers surging up because Zod's armor was malfunctioning, so he was soaking in the sunlight, the atmosphere, and everything
Right.
from the earth. So his body was going nuts. And Superman didn't know. So all Superman knew was, okay, this guy, he's in a, he didn't know what was going on until, holy crap. Now it's like, I got to get out of here or I'm going to be stuck in this rubble.
Right.
So, again, it was collateral damage, not by Superman, but by Zod.
Okay.
But Superman got blamed for it all.
Right.
Okay. But, okay, so, go to Superman 3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Superman 3. Okay? He kills in Superman 3. Okay? When he turns bad. It doesn't 100% show it. But again, look at all the destruction and damage that he does when he's evil Superman. On top of that,
when he was evil Superman, he blew out the Olympic torch. Nobody died there.
Nobody died.
He straightened the Tower of Pisa.
Nobody died there.
Nobody died there.
Okay, but okay, you have the oil tanker.
Yeah.
Okay, look at all the stuff. Look at the when he hit the oil tanker out in the sea.
Right.
Okay, look at all the mammal life and everything in the ocean that was killed.
Right.
Okay, when he blew up the no, that was Nuclear Man. But again, I think there was one other thing that he did. I'm thinking. There was a few, but again, you have evil Superman that didn't give a crap about anything.
Right.
But then you have Superman coming back.
Right.
Superman, or Clark Kent, kills evil Superman.
Right.
There's one. Okay. So now you go to the Machine. Okay, at the end of the movie.
Right.
Okay. Now, the only person that survives is Gus Gorman. Why? Superman destroys the Machine.
Right.
The Machine hurt two of them. Didn't kill them, hurt them. Okay, that was okay. The other one was the sister that turned into the Brainiac. Basically Brainiac.
Right.
What was actually supposed to have ended up being Brainiac.
Right.
Okay, you have the Brainiac computer that turned sister, right? Well, then she zaps brother and brothers
and
into
Hotsy
Hotsy Totsies
His
into the
psychic
wall.
therapist.
Right, into the walls.
Right.
Well, what does Superman do after when the computer Superman flies off, right?
Right.
Comes back. Now
With
you've
the
got
acid, yeah.
okay with the acid. The acid does what? It explodes, blows up everything. No, take that back. The girl survives. The brother doesn't, and he kills and because of him putting the acid in the machine, it kills the sister. And then if you go back to 2,
I'll have to watch it.
I just watched it the other day. And it goes back, okay, now go Superman 2.
Right.
Okay, he's fighting Zod.
Right. And he tosses him down into the...
He tosses him into the abyss.
Right. But the thing of it is there's also some extended cuts that show that the three of them are picked up.
No.
And
Every extended cut does not show them being
I've actually seen footage of that.
extracted from the fortress. The only person that leaves the fortress is Lex and Lois and Superman.
Right.
Yep, those are the only 3 because there's one version of the movie that they have, which I think is stupid as hell, is they have I guess it's the Coast Guard out front in boats
Right.
of the fortress
Right. And take him away.
taking Lex Luthor away.
Yeah.
So they know where the Fortress of Solitude is.
Right.
So yeah. So Batman. Okay, let's go to Batman. Batman has killed numerous times in the movies. Michael Keaton killed numerous people in the movies.
Like in Batman Returns when he's fighting the Red Triangle Circus gang.
At the beginning of the movie,
He takes the dynamite and shoves it in the guy's pants and throws him in the sewer. That's a killing move right there.
Yeah, I mean,
You know, when he shot the grappling gun around Joker's ankle, and then the gargoyle broke loose and he's hanging there. He didn't say, "Oh, I need to find a way to attach him to the."
And even at the beginning of the movie, when he created the Joker,
Right.
you know, it's still, you have that little bit of a, you know, did he or didn't he?
Right.
You know, it's one of those things. Here's Batman knowing that Jack Napier killed his family in the movie, because in the comic books it's Joe Chill, you know, or in a version.
When he dropped him into the vat, he didn't piece it together that he was the one that did it. He had a flashback later on in the movie.
But again, he's holding on to him.
Right.
And he, instead of pulling him up, he dangles him.
Right.
And then, does he or does he not? That's the question.
I'm not convinced that he
I think
purposely did. If he did, it was subconsciously.
So again, you've got, I mean, and even in the comic books, Batman killed somebody in the first comic book. That's the reason why he swore off of killing.
Batman, in the comic books, at one time he had no problem with killing. Neither did Superman, for that matter. But, in the movies, Batman's been more like, I'm going to set up a situation to where you can either be caught or die.
I mean, look at Two-Face. Two-Face did the same thing with Val Kilmer and Two-Face. And,
right.
When he flipped the coin.
Right.
When Two-Face flipped the coin, he took a bunch and
like
threw.
this.
Right.
Well,
he did it on purpose. Why? Because he knew exactly what the Joker was going to do, or not the Joker,
Two-Face.
but he knew exactly what Two-Face was going to do. He knew Two-Face was going to reach out and try to figure out what coin it was. So, Batman.
Yeah, but
Batman in the comic books would have shot a grapple hook around his ankle and stopped him inches from hitting the spikes at the end. But does he? No.
No.
He does it on purpose. Why? He, in the comic books, the comic book plays it down. No, Batman puts everybody in Arkham. Batman puts Joker in Arkham. Batman puts everybody in the movies. The only people that end up, the only two people, one person in the Keaton verse per se.
Right, in the Keaton verse.
In
Like that.
Keaton, even in the Keaton verse, nobody ended up in Arkham. In the Schumacher?
Schumacher. Yeah.
Okay, versus everybody. The only one that ended up in Arkham was the Riddler. That was because he went batty. Everybody else.
Mr. Freeze went in to Arkham, back into Arkham. So did Poison Ivy.
Okay.
That's 3.
Out of how many villains they showed in from all 4 of those movies, how many villains? And only 3 made it into Arkham.
Right.
All the other ones died.
Right. Yeah.
So in the Burton Schumacher verse, all the villains but 3, and the only reason why Freeze and Ivy made it into Arkham was because they helped save Alfred.
Well, he did. She didn't.
So
I think she was spared so that Batman could give Freeze a gift for saving Alfred.
right.
By
But
having
that was
her
it.
live so that he could
But
get his
but
hands
again,
on her.
but again, the only reason why they lived was because Alfred lived. If
Right.
they would have said no,
Right.
the only one would have made it was the Riddler, and the only reason why the Riddler didn't made it was because he was already. I mean, he
was nuts.
he was pretty much. I mean,
His head was all.
yeah, and he was almost killed in that instance.
Right.
So again, by all rights, all but one,
Right.
because
I'm not arguing with
of Batman, Ivy dies
Right.
because he handed her over
To Freeze.
to Freeze.
Right. Well, they never show.
They
her
never
that.
show it, but it's
But it's
implied.
sort of implied
Right.
that she's in a world of hurt.
Right. So again,
Right.
so
And
yeah,
I'm not arguing with any of this. I've watched these movies as
yeah.
But what I'm saying is, he doesn't take a gun and go boom right to your chest.
No.
He sets it up to where, like for instance, with the Gargoyle and Joker, okay? If the Joker would have just let go of that ladder, he'd have and smacked into the side of the church, been bombed up, and then Batman
Right.
just took him in. But he didn't want to let go of that ladder, so
Right.
he basically set up his own death. Okay. Penguin. He sets up where all the bats are flying around him. He's with the umbrella falls through the window, falls down into the water, falls to death.
Right.
If he would have just dropped to the ground and went, stop, that would have been the end of it, right? Okay. When he threw the coins up for Two-Face, if Two-Face would have just went, no, and then just watched them all fall, no death.
Oh, 100%.
So he set it up to where
But again,
they
but-
made that choice
but
to
again-
do their actions
but
that brought
again,
about their death.
but again, Batman did it. Batman killed each one of them. He didn't 100% go, hey, guess what? I'm pushing you off the ledge.
No.
But again, his actions made
His
them
actions-
kill themselves.
His actions made them do actions that made them kill themselves.
That made their deaths.
Just
So,
like
yeah.
just like the Christian Bale one.
He was
Okay.
the cause, their death was the effect.
Yes. So, which means, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, if I shoot you in the chest, yes, I caused that bullet to go to your chest. Well, guess what?
Right. Well, that's like if I tell you, hey, don't go on that bridge, it's going to collapse. And you say, well, I got to get away from Jessica because I made fun of her Mongolian bee, and you cross that bridge and it collapses. I told you not to.
But that's not what Batman did, though.
Yeah, I know.
His cause of death was making fun of Mongolian bees.
Yeah, my cause of death was making fun
Now,
of
if I
us.
said the only way you're going to get away from justice is if you cross that bridge, and you look and it looks like it's about to collapse, and you say, "Well, I'm scared of Jessica," and you cross that bridge. I already told you that bridge is dangerous, but it's the only way.
But again, that's still not the same. You
it's
did
it's more the same.
no because
Sort of
no.
is.
No, because how it would make it the same would be you turning around.
Batman tosses the coins up knowing that he's going to reach for them.
Right. So you knowing that the bridge is
That's
out.
premeditated.
Okay, you knowing the bridge is out, or the bridge is hanging on by a broken board, and then you turning around and chasing me to that bridge.
You still have
Making
the
me
option.
cross it, me not knowing that that is a bad bridge, and you chasing me toward said bad bridge is you causing my death.
Yeah, but that's not what happened either.
Yes, it is.
No. If
Okay. Oh,
if-
hold on.
let's
hold
put
on.
it like this.
Okay,
The
I
bridge,
take.
the
Okay,
bridge
hold
is
on.
there. The bridge is there. The bridge is there. We all know it's bad. Okay.
Okay.
That's what's happening. And
Okay, but again,
And
that's
I'm-
not where we're going with this.
and you say I've got to get away from you, so
I run toward the.
you run to the bridge and you know the bridge is crap, but you say I'm willing to take that chance because
But that's not what we have in. But
that's
not,
exactly what
No,
happened.
we don't.
But I'm
Okay,
still saying Two-Face-
Again,
he
when
threw the-
Batman throws the coins in the air, he knows dang good and well he's going to reach for the coins because he's got to
No,
have that
he knew,
coin.
He knew that he would freak out. He knew that he would go.
He
"No!"
knew he was going to try and get
He
the
knew
coin.
he was going to try finding his coin.
Right,
So
but
Batman
but
doing
he wasn't premeditated. I'm going to make him lose his balance.
okay,
and fall to
but
his death.
yes, because here's my theory.
With the way the coins were tossed,
here's
yes.
yes,
Because
with
they were
the-
tossed out.
They were tossed out into the. They were tossed out into
Into the
tunnel.
opening.
He didn't toss them behind him where the level flat. He didn't go. Joker was or not Joker. Two-Face was standing here. The
Hole was
well
there.
of death was here. Batman didn't toss him here. He tossed him here. Two-Face tosses the coin here. As he tosses them here, Batman tosses them toward the hole. He doesn't toss them away from the hole.
That's premeditated.
That's premeditated. That is premeditated. You can do 101, law enforcement 101. That is premeditated. That is premeditated murder because
the only
the Two-Face is going to do this.
Granted,
The
it
only
may be
premeditation
justifiable
is that
premeditation.
he's going to throw Two-Face off. That's the only premeditation.
Because he lunges for the coins this way. Because
But he had the option to not lunge for those coins. He had that option.
That
He
would-
would have went, no! And then
But
that was
again,
the end of it.
But again, he knew what he was going
You're
to
assuming
do.
too much. He was
Whoa,
bank-
whoa, whoa, whoa,
he
whoa.
might have been banking on it.
So we're talking about the world's greatest detective assuming something?
This isn't a mystery case. This is him knowing.
No. You're going way off. You're
Okay,
looking,
okay,
yeah,
okay.
Batman-
Moving on.
Batman killed Two-Face.
No, he
Flat out. Flat out. Batman kills Two-Face in Batman and Robin.
I'm sticking with. He set up conditions to where he
Death was
didn't-
He
optimal.
set up
He didn't directly set up their death. He set it up to a
he
situation.
set up the
where if they
conditions
panic-
knowing that he would do something and he did it.
No,
Yes.
no.
Probability said he would.
He's setting up a condition where they had a choice to make.
Again,
the wrong choice.
probability
Exactly.
said he would, and
Exactly.
Batman
So
deals in the
They made the
probabilities.
choice He made the choice to reach for those coins.
Batman knew he would.
Yeah,
But
that
Batman
didn't-
works the
but still,
probabilities.
you
The
said
highest
so
probability was that he
But
was going
again,
to reach for the
and
coin.
here's the kicker.
Right.
And here's the kicker to the whole thing. If he didn't want him dead,
He wouldn't have thrown him out over
he
the hole.
wouldn't have thrown him out over. Well, no, let me finish. He would not have thrown him over the tube, the tube of death, the well of death. And number two,
You're still assuming intent.
no, okay, number
That is very
two,
much intent.
Number two, no, hold on. Number two, here is the big one. Instead of looking over while he's going, "Ah," he would have grappled him
And
and
caught him.
saved him. He did not. He watched him fall to his death. That right there does not show a probability. That shows that he did it on purpose.
So let's talk about Christian Bale.
Yes.
Ra's al Ghul. They're on the train, right?
Okay.
And he said,
He let Ra's al
he
Ghul
let
die.
Ra's al Ghul
Yes.
die.
He flat out 100%.
Right. But you notice what he said. He said, I don't have to save you. I'm not going to kill you, but I don't have to save you. That's the way he works.
Yes.
That's why.
But
He
again,
fell.
but again, but again, you still have to do.
He's like,
Hi,
Even-
Sarah.
Hey, Sarah, everything still set itself up. Even okay, the fight. Okay, go. Case in point, go back to Man of Steel. Okay, Superman could have said, "Screw Zod, I'm taking out the world engine," and saved all of Metropolis, or attempted to save all of Metropolis.
right.
But instead, what does he do? He fight. He and actually, the majority of the fight with the world engine happens after they take out the world engine, not before.
Right.
So again, because Superman's fight before he starts taking out Zod, because that's the fight with Zod, because Zod actually is the whole purpose of everybody dying in Metropolis. Not Superman, not the battle between Superman and Zod, because the battle between the guy that is trapped under the
Beam. Yeah.
beam happens because of the world engine, not because of the building collapse.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, they do have the fight in the one Wayne Tower or Wayne Business Complex.
Right.
Okay. That, yes, there are lives lost, but 90% of it was before the battle with Zod and the world engine. But again, the city's already
Zod
in
and
rubble.
Superman?
Huh? Zod and Superman. So the
world
city is
engine's already causing trouble.
The world engine already caused all the damage. So the battle between Superman and Zod was, again, there was not really any more casualties because of their battle, except for in that one building. Other than that, Superman's death toll in that may have been a dozen, but it wasn't on Superman. It was still all on Zod.
Right.
But Superman had no idea that he was that he was getting punched into a building. Hey, that's the same way. Okay, you look at the probability. Okay, the probability of Superman flying getting punched into what he is assuming is an empty skyscraper, and then he's not anticipating Zod's powers going berserk and zapping heat visioning half of a skyscraper in half. It's the same concept. Superman's not
I
not
kind of disagree with that too, because Zod made it crystal clear. I'm building a new Krypton, and if I have to tear this world down to build that,
but
new
again,
Krypton,
but again, at the point, but when that battle is going on, when he throws Superman, yes, he knows he can fly. Yes, he knows he's got the super strength. But at this point, Superman hasn't used his heat vision, or that he has seen him use his heat vision. All he has seen him use is his fight, his speed, and his strength. So them getting thrown, because if you even notice that when they're in that in the office area, Zod is going, what the hell's going on? And then like that, when he brings his hands out,
right?
he has no idea that he has heat vision. And Superman's going, oh crap. So again, it's not one of them things of, hey, we're going to do this right here, right now. It's like, so.
But eventually Zod, when he realizes he had these powers, he starts using them to effect.
And again, the point of, and then, as you notice, at that point, when he sees that Zod is going, when Zod finally goes, when they're finally in that, when he finally gets to the point where, hey, this has got to stop, what does he do?
Snaps his neck.
He snaps his neck because, again, he knows that it's either I have to stop him because, again, I can't reason with him anymore.
Right.
We are now to an end game. It's either he's going to kill me or I've got to kill him.
Right.
And when he finally gets, because if you notice, when they start that battle, almost 90% of that battle is all Zod. Superman is trying to stop him throughout that whole fight.
Right.
So it's not on Superman. Superman is like, crap, Superman has been...
What do I got to do to stop him?
Superman is on the defensive the whole time. So Zod is
the one that's throwing the gas truck.
So Zod is putting Superman into all of these predicaments. So by the time they get to the train station and Superman snaps his neck, it is the only choice made that Superman has.
Right.
So
he already told him that. He said,
right.
He said, if you love him so much, you want to stop me, you're going to have to kill me. So he said, okay.
And again, now looking at that same concept as what you have with Batman. Okay, again, Batman, okay, and like you said, he always deals stuff in probabilities. Or,
Right.
Okay,
yeah.
So Batman, knowing that the probability of Two-Face
Trying to catch the coin.
trying to catch his coin,
but that's where
that's premeditated. No, let me use it. No,
you made that clear.
Using our knowledge, former law enforcement, current law enforcement,
right.
Using our knowledge,
right?
Because of him knowing of that probability, that is premeditation. In a court of law,
okay.
In a court of law, Batman is guilty of murder. Because he knew that the probability, he set everything up for him to jump. In a court of law, Batman is guilty of murder.
Premeditation means that there's a forethought to malice. Okay, right? We agree,
and
right?
You have it.
Right? We agree.
Yes.
That's the definition.
Yes.
Okay. What was his intent? That's what a lawyer will argue. What was his intent? Was it his intent to kill him, or was it his intent to stop him? That's what a good lawyer's going to argue.
Yes.
Was his intent to?
But again,
we don't know that.
But again, the defense attorney on that other side is going to go. It is going to go. Here's the well. Here's the coin, or here's Two-Face.
No, that's Screwface.
That's Screwface. Okay. Am I going to throw? Okay. He's standing here. Batman's standing here. Two-Face is flipping the coin. Up here. Not out here. Up here. He's flipping it up, not out.
Right.
Batman standing here. Throws the coins out.
Okay. So
that is premeditation.
Coin, right?
Coin. Let me see your coin.
Coin's going up, right?
Yes.
Batman goes like this and throws it up, throws all those coins up around that coin.
This way.
Yeah, they come from the side up.
Exactly. Okay.
You know, he's standing below him and he's throwing them up.
Here,
remember?
Hold on.
Remember?
Let me see your mouse. Okay, let me see your mouse. I got this. Okay. Coin.
Pick the pillow up on the floor.
Pick the coin. Right.
Right.
Okay. Batman stands over here.
Right.
Throws coins. Which way?
This
way.
Exactly.
This
Out
way.
over the hole.
Over the hole.
Right.
Okay.
Premeditated.
He threw it over his head though too.
He threw them because he's flipping it this way. He's not flipping it way out here.
Right. What you're arguing is that Batman's throwing it out here and he's going,
Okay, he does.
That up there.
No, he does.
What he does,
rewatch the movie.
He's flipping like this. He's flipping like
He's
this.
flipping
Okay,
here.
it's going up. Batman is down there. Okay,
And he throws
it up, and he throws it up right into the path
of the coins.
of the coins right.
Inside the hole.
No.
Yes.
He throws it. His intent is to throw it up among, or
Watch the movie.
around the coin so
Watch-
that he can't tell which coin it is.
But I can get no. He throws it in. He throws it. He throws it. No, because again,
It wasn't like he took a batarang and hit the coin.
No.
And knocked it.
No,
He's like,
but again, the intent was to throw him off on his decision.
Right.
Okay. When he threw the coins.
Right.
When he threw the coins, though, and they all jumbled together.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Which is the intent. He is standing on the ledge.
Right.
They are over the ledge with the coins. The coins are over the ledge. So what does he do? It's not, but again, the intent is if he did not want him dead, he would have stopped him.
I'm not convinced. I'm sorry. I'm just not convinced.
Batman killed Two-Face.
I'm sure his actions brought about the death of Two-Face. I'm not going to
The same way with Ra's al
I'm
Ghul.
saying
You
that
know,
might not have been his intent.
but again-
his intent would be to confuse Two-Face so that he couldn't get his coin to get a decision.
because
that
again,
might have been his
because
intent.
again, here,
Let's
and
put it
this,
like this. There's
and
different-
this is the
There's different levels of homicide.
right.
though, too.
But again, this
Okay.
is the reason why
Dead is dead.
and this is the reason why I think
yeah.
this
Okay.
is the reason why I think Batman killed him, and
Right.
this is where I'm going with it. And this is how my point. This is where my point stands at him killing him.
Right.
Okay. He saved Robin.
Right.
He did the action
Mm-hmm.
that made Two-Face, knowing that Two-Face was going to trip and stumble or slide off the edge to try finding his coin, and he fell to his death to save Robin, because Robin's full intent at that point was to kill Two-Face, and he took it upon himself to do it, even if it was subconsciously whatever.
Right.
he took the weight of him, of not saving him, and him causing him to fall. Batman caused him to fall because of his actions.
Right.
Okay. That is a
We
flat
agree
out.
on that.
Okay. Batman caused him to fall because of Batman caused the action for him to fall, which
I would put it more in second degree
Okay.
than first degree.
and I would go with that. But again, murder is still murder.
Right.
Not as much time, but murder is still murder.
We're not
Batman-
talking about murder is murder. We know murder is
Right,
murder.
but-
All I'm talking about is there intent? Is there,
It
or is it a
wasn't-
reckless action that caused?
I
the death
think
of
it was
another?
both.
I
I think there was partly intent. I think the intent. Okay, I think it was reckless. I think it was reckless on Batman's part because Batman. Oh, this is where my logic is.
Right.
It was reckless on Batman's part because Batman, deep down, Batman did not want to kill Two-Face
right.
because Bruce Wayne and Harvey Dent were friends.
Right.
That is all
Canon.
wrapped up. That's all canon. That's even canon
Right.
in that movie. So, all in all, Batman, was the intent of him hurting Harvey Dent? No. Was it the intent on saving Robin from killing
Two-Face.
Two-Face? Yes.
Okay.
So,
that could be
so-
yeah.
So do I think the intent of Batman throwing the coins up to throw Harvey off? Yes, but he knew what Two-Face was going to do, which led to the death of Two-Face.
So let me argue this point then. From this point, if we know that his intent was to keep Robin from killing Two-Face, could one argue that he was attempting to keep, because he was attempting to keep him from being a murderer,
Right.
that he was defending Robin as a matter of defense?
Yes, you could, but
You know, like
but
if you were attacking Jessica and I had a gun and I shot you, okay, I'm defending Jessica, right?
right.
So
But the problem,
could a lawyer argue that?
a lawyer could. But the problem is, Batman would still, but again, at that point, but again, they're both in a fight. So, you're looking,
That's going to be argued in court. If that
Right.
went to court, Batman would have
But
to
now,
call
at
in
that
Robin
point,
and he'd have to call in Chase Meridian as witnesses.
but again,
I
at
was
that point,
trying to keep him from hurting these two any more than they had already been harmed by the Riddler.
but the problem is it's now you're looking at the defense of, you just say, now again, you're looking at a whole lot of other variables in there as well. Because when they fell, were they were just down a little bit from it?
They fell. He saved them first.
Right.
First, got them back up to the beam. Then the coin toss.
Then the coin toss.
and then Harvey falls.
Then Harvey falls.
Okay.
But at that point,
Right.
Robin is no longer in danger. Okay. Just hear me out. At that point, right at that second,
Mm-hmm.
at that point, and again, at that point, okay, when Robin is saved, that is not Two-Face, that is the Riddler, because the Riddler did the question.
Right.
And again,
But you're forgetting something here. Okay? He's like, well, I don't have time for this anymore, kind of stuff. And he pulled the gun, and that's when Batman said, wait, you always flip over everything.
right,
And
And
that's
then-
when he did the coin toss.
right,
Okay, so Robin or Chase was in danger of getting shot at that point. So he said something that caused
Harvey.
He played on Two-Face's.
Actually, he
psychosis.
played on Harvey's psychosis.
He played on that entity's
Right.
psychosis of duality. You flip over everything.
Oh, there's enough of this. And wait a minute.
He goes,
So-
wait, you always flip over everything. You're right. You're a good friend, Bruce.
But
And then he does that.
now here
Okay.
is now again. Now this is where you have the. Now this is where the question is.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Now you have the question of. Okay. Because see,
He set in events emotions to save Chase and Robin.
and
He can
Robin.
claim, yeah, and so he might, if a good lawyer has a good lawyer, that lawyer might argue his actions were done to save these two, and this
And
guy
it-
died out of it.
Right.
So that may not necessarily fall under first degree murder.
Right.
And you might be hard pressed to get third to stick. You know,
You'd never. And again, and all
maybe
the-
manslaughter. You might get him for manslaughter, but there, like we do know that there's different degrees
Right.
of murder. Okay, there's that I'm going to kill you and I'm going to do the
And
I'm
I
going
mean,
to think
again,
about it ahead
but
of time.
again, you because how do you consider how are you doing how are you doing self-defense? Because yes, you could try pleading self-defense, but here's the thing: what happens if it landed on heads? They're saying,
Right.
what happens if it lands? But then again, if it landed on tails, who does it kill?
Right.
So again.
Whoever's the nearest one.
So again, you still have it as Batman setting him up.
Now you also remember that movie when they were in the mansion. He was like, "No killing," and
Uh-huh.
he's standing there. He keeps flipping until he gets the resulting ones.
No, he
Then
doesn't.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't.
He shot, and then he shot Bruce in the head. in the
Yes.
forehead.
Yes,
Remember?
but
he would get.
he did. He wasn't doing. No,
Yeah, he did.
no, he wasn't.
Watch the movie again.
I know. They actually had something on that on the theory on that.
Right.
He did not flip it 3 times to get. He wasn't flipping it to get the right choice.
Right.
2 out of 3.
No, he was. There was 3 victims in the house.
Mhm.
3 flips, 3 victims. Robin or Dick, Alfred, and
At
Bruce.
the mansion, Dick wasn't there.
Yes, he was.
No, he wasn't.
Yes, he was.
No.
Yes. 3 victims. 3 victims. Or was it?
Hi,
I'm
Michelle.
sorry, it wasn't Dick. It was Chase, Alfred. It was Chase.
Alfred was in the closet.
It was right. It was Chase, Alfred, and Bruce.
Alfred
Listen,
was already taken out of the equation. He was
Yes.
in the closet.
I understand that.
So he wasn't
But-
going to murder him. He was not an entity anymore.
But there was 3 entity. He was doing okay. It was 3 choices,
He had
3
to.
flips.
He had to.
3. Chase, Alfred, and Bruce. 1, no. 2, no. Bruce is in front of him. 3. Aha! Boom! Yes!
No. 2. Chase and Bruce. Chase and Bruce.
All
No.
right, children.
Alfred was a non-entity. He was already
was-
in the closet and
but
locked in.
He is an entity because he is in. It was.
He was
Trust
not
me.
available to be shot.
But he is still. He is still a pawn in in Two-Face's game in that scenario.
I disagree. He's been removed
It
from
was
the
no.
equation.
Trust me. There is a video already on it online. I watched it the other day. Trust me.
A video.
The video from Schumacher of them talking about the movie. I watched it literally last week.
Part of crime is jeopardy. Part of it's opportunity. He's got Chase and
Look
Bruce
it up.
right in
Trust
front.
me.
He's got Bruce and Chase right in front of him.
Yes.
So he's got opportunity. He's got motive,
And
he's
he
got
flips
jeopardy.
the coin 3 times. 3 times 3 victims. He gets yes. 3 times 3 victims. That is the opportunity. he has so it is Alfred, who is in the closet, Chase, who was right there with him, and Bruce, which is right there.
Well,
1, 2. Bruce is the third one. Bruce is the one that gets shot in the head.
Riddler
goes
Riddler
down.
said if you shoot him, he won't learn nothing. He said, I know that's what you want. You want him bruised, bleeding, and dead. And that'll eventually
Yes.
come. But we've got to teach him a lesson first.
Yes.
So no killing until that lesson is taught. But
And
he was flipping anyway,
Exactly.
even knowing that they weren't supposed to.
Am I going to have to
killing.
find the video where
Yes,
it talks?
find the
Yes, I
video.
will find the
You
video.
find the video,
I will
you send
fi-
it to me, I will watch it.
I
and
will find it. I will find it because I was watching it the other day. Yes.
And I want everybody on here to weigh in what they think. I would love to hear from lawyers what they think would happen. I would love to hear this. I would love to hear how many people go, yeah, Lonnie's right. Or how many go, no, Dennis has got a point. Okay.
We both got points because it could be flipped either way.
Right.
And because, again, a jury of peers, they're going to look at it either way.
And remember,
Because, again,
in a court of law, this is what's going to happen.
exactly.
Okay? One side is going to say, yeah, he's a dirty scumbag who tried to kill Two-Face. The other side's going to be like, no, he was trying to save some people. And then,
Yeah.
that's the thing. And
Did he drop Jack Napier into the vat of acid, or didn't he? We don't know.
Did he drop him or did he slip? Okay.
Yeah.
Now here's the thing. Batman, even if charged with a crime, has a presumption of innocence, right? It's up to the state to prove
Yes.
that he willingly and knowingly let Joker fall into the badass. It's up to them to prove
Yes.
that he let, or that he said, or that his intent was to kill Two-Face. They have the burden of proof is on them. So all
But
Batman has
and
to
the
do-
problem in that point in the movie, the problem is the Batman at that point would have gotten a guilty verdict because at that point in time in that movie, he was a menace to Gotham. He was he was terrorizing Gotham. The newspapers, because if you watch it, the newspapers is the Batman terrorizes Gotham and all this. So he was
Gotham Underworld.
yeah. So it wasn't like Batman was standing up right next to Jim Gordon at the time going, yes, we won this. So
Right. Well, I
again,
understand that. I'm
Excuse
sure
me.
that James Gordon would be called as a witness, and he would say, "Do you know Jack Napier?" And Commissioner
What?
Gordon go, "Yes, I'm well acquainted with Jack Napier. He's he works under Boss Grissom. He's his right hand man. He's his knuckle buster."
Right.
Okay. So then, the lawyer for Batman would say, "Oh, so what you're saying is that Batman attempted to rescue Jack, and Jack slipped and fell in, and we're going to go after him for murdering Joker when Joker number
or Jack.
one, or Jack. You're going to go after him for murdering for Jack when he actually had hold of him and was trying to pull him out." That's what a lawyer would say.
Right.
He would say he was trying to pull him up, and then
But
he would
the
say,
other side would say,
and then he'd say he was trying to pull him up, despite the fact that he was a mafia boss. Even if he willingly, knowingly let him go and drop in, he's a mafia boss. He was not a nice guy.
but again, but again, just because he's a mafia boss still doesn't mean you still doesn't give you justification on killing him.
Well, to a point. Let's put it like this: if I were a lawyer for Hitler, and the jury was listening in, and this guy, Hitler killed 6 million Jews. Okay, you think the jury's going to go, "Oh, well, Hitler yeah, he had rights.
Oh, don't get me wrong.
Right.
But again, don't get me wrong. You know, it's
if
still
it
going
was
to.
Dillinger or Babyface Nelson, somebody that killed innocent people when they robbed banks and stuff like that, you think the common man in a jury is going to go, oh, well, yeah, Batman needs to fry for letting or for killing.
Oh,
Jack.
I'm not saying. Oh, see, who said hi? Oh, well, wait, that's all right. But again, it's
Yeah, but-
where are we at now on the? Oh, shoot, we're past 9 o'clock.
Now, we need to wrap this up. But these are good legal questions.
Yeah,
Okay, and
but
and
again,
that's part of the reason why we do these videos, so that we can have these
we have fun
and
with it.
and it's all in good fun.
Yeah. But again,
I'm desperately known to play the devil's advocate.
But again, that would be like Floyd Lawton taking out a contract hit on Babyface Nelson.
right.
You know, well, he shot a bad guy, but lo and behold, well, now he shot. Even though he shot Babyface Nelson, you know, he gets caught shooting him. He's still not going to get. Caught, or he gets caught. He's going to be going to jail for murder.
True.
Okay. Now,
Or-
but again, now you're in your Batman legal defense. Okay. Babyface Nelson is killing people left and right.
Right.
Okay. Floyd Lawton, Deadshot, takes and goes, pow, Popsy. And you know, the cops coming around. The cops are, you know, you're under arrest for, you know, but lo and behold, Babyface Nelson's just walking down the street or coming out of a shopping center, and then pow, his head goes boom.
Right.
Okay, he's just walking down the street, even though Babyface Nelson has already killed 50 people.
Right.
Okay, but now you, as Floyd Lawton, got your eyes set up
Right.
75 yards out and pops him off.
Right.
You're running down the street trying to get away because, oh, good, I just got him. You get popped with the gun, and you get popped 100% red-handed, and now you're standing trial for killing Babyface Nelson. Guess who's going away? Just because, guess who's going away for murder? You are. Even though Babyface Nelson has killed 50 people.
Okay, when you're talking about Lawton is an assassin. Okay, he's already a known bad guy.
Right. Okay.
Don't you think that they would look at Batman's record? Has he ever killed anybody that was a
It's
child
not okay.
or a woman?
It's
or-
not going to
or-
matter, dude.
You think that?
In today's day and age.
Right.
Okay, and again.
If they slap it up and they say, "Oh, he killed the Joker. He killed the Penguin. He killed Two-Face. He killed." Okay, they're all bad guys. They all have a criminal record.
Okay. Here,
They might
hold
get
on.
it for vigilante justice.
Hold on. Okay. Real world. Comic books out. Real world. Right
Real
now.
world, okay.
Real world.
Okay, real world.
Okay.
Okay.
We have, you know,
I'm gonna cut you two off.
good. We have sex offenders all over the state.
Right.
Okay. Me. Okay. I'm a pretty decent shot.
Mm-hmm.
I take my AR.
Mhm.
I go hide out somewhere. I find out this address. Snipe one off.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Come over here. Snipe one off. I'm doing a service to society.
You're getting rid of known pedos.
Pedos, right. Okay, guess what? Woo, 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 come to my house. Boom, boom, boom. Search warrant. We're checking your house. Oh, this is the rifle. This is it. Matches up with everything. I go to jail. Guess what? Guess who's going to jail as a serial killer? Because I'm going around killing pedophiles. Even though I'm probably
Hypothetically.
getting a high five as I'm going through the line,
Hypothetically.
hypothetically, yes, hypothetically.
Whereupon a good lawyer your lawyer, if he's good, will argue that
You know
that,
what?
you were traumatized, or you were doing a social service.
In
In
a
fact,
court of law today, that will not stand up. Because why? Because as soon as you say something about that, I've had something that's mentally wrong in here.
Right.
Guess what? The first thing they're going to do? They're going to send me to a hospital to get me tested. And unless I can defend that I am mentally unstable, and that's the reason why I did that, my ass is going to jail, if not the death penalty.
right.
For doing something like that,
Well,
regardless of how much they've done in the real world.
in the real world, let's talk about Jay Simpson. Okay, everyone gets killed this, but he still got away with it because the jury.
Believed that the glove didn't fit.
No, they believed
They believed his attorney.
most of his
Again.
most of his jury was black, and simply stated, they said, we know he did it, but we feel that the injustices against black determined that he should get away with it.
Well,
he got away with it.
They believe
Yes.
they believe
So-
the glove didn't fit.
Right.
That's flat.
And it doesn't matter if his ex-wife and Ron Goldman were pedophiles themselves.
But again,
yes, he did. But
it all revolves around how good the attorneys are.
Right.
At the end of the day, it depends on how good the two attorneys are, and depends on what the decision of the 12 that are sitting
and
over
it
in
has
that
to be
jury box.
unanimous.
And it has to be unanimous.
Right.
The problem is, though,
And I hate to
Again,
say this, but even if a judge says, okay,
I
disregard this is what matters in law. Judges will do that, right? So they say, people have still been known.
Oh, okay.
People have still
Yes, sir, we're getting ready to stop it.
people have still been known to say, okay, I don't care what the judge says. I'm not changing my mind on this, and could end up in a mistrial.
Exactly.
Lots of things.
But again, it all comes down to the 12.
Right.
You know, regardless of what anybody says, it all comes down to the 12.
Right.
And at the end of the day,
I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6.
exactly.
Right.
Now, on that note, okay,
Let's wrap this up.
wrap it up.
Yes.
Okay, thank you everybody for coming out to the fire department this past week.
Yeah.
See, this is the kind of stuff we get to do, and you guys get to laugh about
Yeah.
and chime in on.
Because Jess is sitting back here ready to strangle
Yeah,
both of them.
This is the stuff you
She
get to
wasn't
laugh at.
busy falling asleep. Yeah.
This is the stuff you guys get
No,
to
I was
laugh
sitting here playing solitaire while you guys argued.
This is the stuff you guys get to laugh on and chime in on the stuff that we get to discuss about. So, again.
Besides, I can't be wrong. I'm Batman.
Oh, God, and I'm Superman. Yes. Now, again, thank you everybody for coming out and hanging out with us tonight. And thank you for everybody coming out and hanging out with us last weekend at the Firehouse for the for the Perry County or Perryville Fire Department open house last weekend.
Hopefully,
Look to see everybody. Yes. Hopefully we get to see everybody. Hopefully Dennis gets to see everybody up in St. Louis or up in St. Peter's at the Heroes Complex. And hopefully we get to see a lot of you guys down in Memphis at the Pumpkin Run this Saturday morning. So yours is Saturday afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
So let's all have fun this weekend. And then we will see everybody on the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd in Cape Comic Con at the Show Me Center.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we'll see a lot of our group on October 24th here in Perryville for Trunk and Treat.
Yes.
Yes.
Trunk and Treat, October 24th.
On the
And then-
square.
Yes, and then we want to say, welcome, Scott Ennis to the Heroes for Kids Comic-Con 2025.
Looking forward to seeing you again.
Yes, so look forward to seeing him at our show, and look forward to updating this even more as the weeks go on. So, and on that note, we love everybody. Jess, do you have anything?
No.
Dennis, do you have anything?
No.
No.
Sweetheart, do you have anything? No.
No.
Well, in the
No.
voice of
No.
Ruh-roh Raggy,
Yeah, you're going to be saying ruh-roh.
Ruh-roh Raggy, it's time to get off.
Yeah.
So,
And we got away with it too if it wasn't for that pesky kid.
if it wasn't for the pesky moderator behind the camera.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, I'm not Oracle and moderator anymore. I'm now evidently the mafia boss.
Yes, it's the mafia. See, we need Scooby-Doo on this one. Zoinks.
Scooby can't even save you from this one.
All right. Well, we love everybody. Hope to
Not
see
even
you all
Christmas.
next week, next Monday. We'll give you all the lowdown of Dennis will give you the lowdown of the Heroes Complex. I'll give you the lowdown of the Pumpkin Run down in Memphis. So look forward to seeing everybody this weekend in both areas.
Unless I'm in jail for murder for throwing coins up in the air and two-faced eyes.
I'll be the witness that says it was intentional.
We love you all.
Yes.
Thank you all for joining in.
Yeah.
Check us out on
Gotta protect
our
my evil
Facebook
mafia.
page. Check us out on our Instagram and
Mama
our
Mafia.
YouTube page. Check us out on our Heroes for Kids Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube page, all listed under Heroes for Kids Perryville Mo. And also for updates on the Heroes for Kids Comic-Con page, it's heroesforkidscomiccon.org. Thank you, Mary Jo, for keeping everything updated on it from Villainous Grounds. So, on that note, we love you all. See you next. If we don't see you this weekend, we'll see you Monday, same Ruby Roo time, same Ruby Roo channel. Love you guys. Have a good one. Good night.